You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith Johnson.
The AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AfterBuzz TV's Real World After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's Real World After Show.
Hey.
Can you repeat that?
Try and take my man.
See, I don't
need that. Don't play
What? Come on, Roxy. That. Well, is you feeling that? What?
Can you repeat that? See, I feel like I'm doing a really awesome job right now. So where's Nicolette to not make fun of me because I am so hip.
Hey. Yo, what up, AfterBuzz? All right, so we have to explain why we did that. Hold up. We did that because someone said 702, and I said, where my girls at? And Roxy started singing. I was like, you knew that? She caught her, and I was really proud of
myself. Thank you. Thank you.
For the reunion,
seriously,
too.
Drea and Nicolette, I'm going to call you on speakerphone after this and sing that to you and be like, I know every word.
Shady as fuck.
Because that's what's T.
That's what's T, girl.
I'm trying to think of the other ones, but I don't remember them.
But wait, they'll come to you.
Okay.
All right, go. What up,
Jump
AfterBuzz?
off.
It's your boy DJ Jesse Janedy here in studio with the lovely Roxy Striar.
Hello.
It is the Real World reunion, and I gotta say, it was a snooze-union.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's first of all bizarre that they aired it on Monday. I get that we've got the challenge on Thursday, but what is this? They're changing all of our nights around on us. I'm getting really confused.
I hate that they do that. One. Two, the reunion was so weak because it's like we see the after shows every week.
Right.
You're watering the reunion down.
I know, which sounds weird because we know we do after shows here every week, but our after shows are kind of different than getting the what's now
but they
going
would have
on.
The whole cast.
I
it's
know.
like, well, so it's the reunion after every episode. It's kind of like, all right.
I know
well.
there is actually a good amount to talk about, but it's kind of weird, you know? Yeah, absolutely. And because of social media these days, it's like, I know who's together, and I know who's apart, and I know who's fighting, and I know how you feel about this. So it is kind of weird.
So does that ruin it for you as a fan, social media?
Sometimes it makes it, sometimes it breaks it, you know? I love seeing these little arguments because I'm like, ooh, or like when you actually get to interact with people, you know, we're always tweeting back and forth with them because we're fans of the show, they're fans of AfterBuzz. It's cool that we get to mutually talk to each other through that and connect with them. But sometimes it does ruin it because it's like, well, I know Jenny and Brian are together now. So even when I'm watching the shows, I'm like, I can't really even listen to them fight because they're saying they're never going to be together again, and I know they're together right now, you know?
Yeah, that was kind of an awkward. I didn't understand what, like, okay, when I was trying to figure out, like, when was this film? Why are they so far away from each other? I remember hanging out with them before the reunion was taped, and they were like lovey-dovey, and then all of a sudden at the reunion they're separated. She's crying and he gives up to go give her a hug, and it's like, well,
but they're together and he lives here, and yeah, it's just kind of weird, and I never really know what's going on with Corey and her because whatever. So.
Well, how about the tea tonight? Corey and Jenny were hooking up when they
in
came
LA. I know, which is interesting because we had both Corey and Jenny in here, and we asked both of them, and they both were like, we were just friends. We were just friends. So
I believe we have a special guest caller on the line, Arielle. What you do, girl?
Oh, I wish you were in studio with us, but I'm so happy you could call in tonight because we haven't gotten you on the phone yet, and we need your expertise, advice.
And not only that, but I'm a stan of yours. You're a goddess, and yes, we love you here at AfterBuzz.
Oh, she knows.
Wait, I love you.
You what?
I love you guys too. I've been watching the AfterBuzz shows, and I'm like, okay, these people are hilarious. Why have I not got down there? This is ridiculous.
Oh my God, girl. Well, when you come out to LA, we're going to do a special. It's called AfterBuzz Spotlight, and we're going to do it just for you, girl.
Yeah, because we need it. First of all, you have so much going on with your films and everything else, which is so cool. And second of all, anybody who watched this season can see that you are a legitimate, down-to-earth chick who isn't trying to cause drama and went on the show for what I think are the right reasons, you know? You wanted to open your eyes to something, and you went on the show, and everything that was thrown at you, whether it's your ex coming back or people fighting, you're just like, okay, I'm going to handle this. You want to put hot grease in my face? You want to put oil on my face? Okay, I'm going to keep my cool, and I'm going to deal with this like a mature adult, which is amazing because you don't really ever see that on the real world.
And there's no way that grease was hot, girl. Was that grease really hot?
Yo, no, and let me just point out the fact that it did not touch my face because that would have been a problem. And can we just talk about the fact that, like, I got my ass kicked the whole season long? Like, hot oil in my face, Brian, like, tackled me. Like, what was going on? I don't know why everybody wanted to, like, hit me up when I was or tried to be the nicest person in the fucking house.
Right,
No.
my question is, are you physically okay? Like, what? Like, when Brian trampled on, like, took you down, I was like, the fact that you were like, Wusa Gandhi after that, I was like, girl, bye. Like, what are you taking?
Right?
What medication is that? And can I get a prescription?
I know, but I think to your question...
I mean, I'm just going to have to solve it on Twitter afterwards because
That's
I think
fine.
everybody will need somebody into this. I watched that and I don't remember a single thing. Like, I don't remember any of that happening. I don't remember talking to him or any of that. So I watched it and I was just as shocked as everybody else. My mom called me and was like, yo, where did you live? Because me and all of your cousins are about to go talk to Brian. Like,
Wait, what do you mean you don't remember? Because you were drunk, or just like you blacked that point out because it was so crazy?
Oh, no. That was the last night. We all went out. Like, I mean, I wouldn't have three-way kissed Jamie if I wasn't blacked out. So,
I know.
Like, we were all, like, totally drunk. And Brian likes me the most in the house.
Of
and
course.
so I think he wanted to just kind of cool down and talk to me about it. And so, of course, I was down, but I definitely was not in a place to, like, try and,
Right.
you know, chill the demons out of him. That was not going to happen.
And kind of talk about that a little bit, because this is something that I've noticed throughout the house. I've actually got to meet Brian, have a conversation with him one-on-one. He seems like a really good guy, really deep. You know, sometimes I worry if maybe the relationship he's in might manipulate him and kind of taint him. I don't know. I'm just saying. But one thing that I would always notice in the background is you and Brian sitting with each other and kind of looking like you guys would have these conversations. And then we'd see scenes where Brian would call you to talk to you. Where did that kind of
Relationship
can we say
bond.
yeah, where did that kind of blossom?
So, like, the whole thing with Brian in general is, like, okay, everybody needs to really, like, lay off with him and just think about the fact that, like, if you came into a house where the girl that you had been in a relationship with for, God, like, 5 years or whatever, you come into the house to her and some other guy sleeping around, you're going to have some feelings. You're going to feel some type of way. Like, it's just going to happen. And so, like, I think immediately I kind of caught wind of that. And then I saw the guys kind of, like, ganging up against him. And I was just like, you know, like, I can't just let that go by and not really, like, at least try and talk to him about it. And so he and I would always kind of just, like, talk about things. And I think, like, their relationship got, like, more and more toxic, and that's when they both would come to me. By that point, I was always like, yo, I'm ready to get the fuck out of here and, like, work on my stuff. But they would both come up and try and talk about the relationship, and I just started to feel for Brian, because, like, it's clear he has a lot of feelings, and he loves Jenny. Like, he really, really loves Jenny, and so I think he would just act up because he just didn't know how to deal with the situation.
Do you feel burdened, though? Because I feel like you took on this position in the house where everyone's coming to you, and it's like, you know, you ask about why these people are beating you up. It's because they know that you're going to be there the next day no matter what they do to you. So they take advantage of that, and everyone's coming to you with their problems or whatever's going on. And it's like, oh, let's go talk to Ari. Let's go talk to her. She'll figure this out for us. So do you feel like your experience in this house was tainted because you didn't really get to deal with any of your own things because you were dealing with everybody else's?
Oh, my God. Yes. I mean, like, here's the thing. I just got a text from Tom this morning. You guys think that this ends? No, not at all. Like, I am still talking to everybody, and I'm still kind of being, you know, mama bear or whatever. And on top of that, I was working on my film, and I was also, you know, trying to figure out what me and Ashley were going to do. So there was a lot going on. And I was just, like, the whole time, I'm so happy that, like, they wouldn't show some of this stuff, because I did have a few, like, bitch moments where I just, like, freaked out on everybody. I think I flipped out on Tom over a radio, and I, like, grabbed my boot, and I was about to beat him. It was that bad.
Are you like this all the time, though, in life? Like, does this happen with all your friends? You just are this person, or is it something about this house, and you're like, I gotta do this?
Oh my God, hell no. Like, I am the person, and that's what I thought. That was part of the reason why I thought I would go and do the show, is because, like, I'm used to being the person that my friends are taking care of. Like, I'm the girl throwing up on the sidewalk and they're holding my hair. Like, that's normally how that goes down.
Wow.
And so I was really surprised. I think it was also, like you said, I came into the house with a goal. Like, I just started my filmmaking career and I wanted people to see the work that I was doing. And so, like, I was pretty focused. And I think because of that, everybody just saw that, like, I was solid in the house, and so they wanted to have. I was the only person that they could really rely on, because everybody else was just going through just so much shit on the show. It was crazy.
So do you feel like you, obviously you had a productive time on The Real World, but do you kind of wish that you maybe weren't as productive in that sense and kind of went for the emotional ride, or do you feel like you got the best of both worlds?
Well, you know, looking back on it, like, I feel like I got a pretty good, like, I can still work after this. I think a lot of my cast members, like, they can't really go, and it's going to be hard for them to kind of, like, you know, get rid of the reality TV tarnish that kind of gets put on you. Like, I could still go and be like, hey, I'm Ari, and, like, get work and get paid. You know, like,
yeah, of course.
Cool. But, I mean, at the end of the day, like, I went in the house also because I did want to turn up a little bit. I did want to have a good time. And I think I didn't allow myself to really do that to the fullest, just because, they brought in Ashley. So the moment Ashley joined in the house, like, all ideas of me, like, really getting it in any way were gone. You know, I had my girl there. I was working on my film at that point. Like, I was way too focused on like, half the season.
How did you fight temptation for that?
Back on it, I wish I would have just, like, you know, had more fun, had a little bit more fun.
But how did you fight the temptation to do those things? How? Because, I mean, I know you were in a position where you were the bad guy when it came to Ashley. You had to prove yourself. And obviously, MTV just kind of threw Ashley at you guys, you know. So, you know, you didn't have time to kind of grow, prepare. But we hear, you know, on the reunion tonight, you say, you know, I would still grind with girls, and, you know, I would get the girl's number, but, you know, I'd give it to Ashley, and I'd tell her she could call. You know, how did you develop that
rapport?
Yeah, because, I mean, that's hard to do, you know, right away.
It is, and it's, like, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and say, like, everything's perfect, because it's not. Like, we're still figuring out how to do that. But I'll tell you, like, the difference between me and Jay, I'm going to just put it out there. Why not? The difference between me and Jay is, like, I'm completely 100% with Ashley. Like, if I'm attracted to a girl, I'll text her, like, yo, this bitch is fine. Like, I want to talk to her. Like, this is how I want to do this. And then we'll decide as a couple how to deal with that. You know, like, you know, there have been times and I've just been like, you know, maybe we should consider, like, you know, being more open. Maybe we should, you know, talk to this girl together. Like, we just know how to, like, communicate. And I think it's been really hard to do that because, you know, you don't really want to get a text from your girlfriend saying, like, hey, I'm attracted to this other girl. But I think she and I have both been able to, like, work around it and realize at the end of the day, the only person that I want laying next to me, the only person that I want, period, is Ashley. And then with that information, it's just like, cool, well, all right, like, these people are attractive, but they're not really going to, like, you know, do more than be attractive with us.
I think that's unbelievable. That is unbelievable that you found somebody that can do that, because as you're sitting here saying that, I'm like, wow. I mean, last week I said on our after show that you two are the only couple that I can see actually making it from the show. Yeah. And I stand by that because I think you guys are on the same page. And instead of avoiding the awkward conversations, you guys deal with them head on, which is really effing important. And now you guys have an open, honest relationship. And you figure it out together, which is so freaking cool. And I think it's interesting you bring up Jay because...
Segue.
Yeah, speaking about tonight's episode, I mean, we knew, I have to say, I get fooled sometimes. And from the first episode, I said Ari and Jay are my two favorites on the show. By the end, one of that was the same, the other was a little different. I thought Jay was the man. And as it unfolds, I'm like, who is this guy and why is he such a fucking jackass? And I thought that I was watching something that everybody was watching, but then tonight's episode shows us that it takes it to a whole nother level. Like, what front was he trying to put on for the camera? I mean,
oh my God.
What is he trying to show?
Wait, first of all, before you start that, the tea, though, that they started off that Jay and Jenna are not together anymore. Can we just clap for Jenna?
Go, Jenna, baby.
Because I was really nervous this girl was going
to... right now.
For real, I thought she was, honestly, I thought she was going to be stuck with this man.
Forever.
You know, because I've seen that relationship before, playing over and over and over
they get
again.
married, and he still has his jump off. Yes.
But my thing... Ari, I have to ask you though, with Jay, because you know I want to give, I want him to have. I always hope that every person in life has a redeemable quality. I have come across those who don't.
You're too nice, Jesse. You're too nice.
Okay, but here's the thing, because I wonder with Jay. You know, you guys clocked all his tea, though. Y'all were like, I heard that he was not MCing before he came on the Real World.
Yeah, I know.
No, y'all was going in on Jay's life. But my question is this. Okay, yeah, maybe he wasn't MCing. Do you feel like Jay lies to himself? Do you feel like... Because that's what I'm thinking the issue might be. Is he just
lying to you guys, or is he lying to himself and you guys?
I think he's lying to himself, which causes him to lie to other people.
Right.
Ari, what do you think of that?
I mean, that actually is a legitimate question, and I'm putting all of my, like, Jay feelings aside just to, like, really answer that. I mean, I think at the end of the day, it's okay for all of us to say, like, hey, this is who I want to be, but, like, in order for you to build real relationships, you have to be, like, genuine, and I felt like the whole time, like, I felt like my entire relationship with Jay was completely false. Like, I don't even know which parts were real, which parts were, like, you know, him trying to put up a front for either the cameras or himself. I just don't know. Like, I legitimately have no idea what parts of him are, like, true.
It's so
strange. And, like, if it is, like, him trying to, like, feel better about his situation or who he is and all that stuff, that's great, but, like, you still have to, like, you know, here's the thing. In order for me to move forward, I need to say, like, here's where I am right now and here's where I want to be. And then tell people, like, yo, here's where I am, but here's where I want to go. And then allow those people to help me get there. Jay never really did that. He's like, I'm the man. I run New York City. I run, like, it was that the whole time. So
but I don't think
I have no idea.
It's very bizarre to me because in my personal life and from what I've observed, if anything changes somebody and knocks them down and realizes that they're not invincible and that they need other people, it's when a parent passes away. And we see that on this show, and we feel for him. And we even talked about that in tonight's episode. You know, the host is saying, like, we all, our hearts go out to you because I want to love Jay and I want to feel bad for him because I've been there and it fucking sucks and you do things you didn't think you were capable of and you're a mess and life's a nightmare. But I feel like it changes you for the better or for the worse. And him, it didn't seem to change him at all. And so it's so strange to me because I've seen people take really big dives after that, or I've seen people rise to the occasion. And I feel like he was not unaffected, but like just still stayed him. And it was so weird. Like, it's just weird to me.
I mean, and even that element of it, oh my God. And I know so many times, like, for me to bring this up, it's almost like me being insensitive, but it did feel that way. Like, he went away for a few days and he came back, and it was back to, like, Jay on top of things, getting girls' numbers, blah, 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 like, do a number competition. Like, there was never any, like, sense of, like, it affected him. And the only time it did is when it was, like, strategic, when it was, like, it would help for him to
get mad at Ashley.
In the house.
Yeah.
You know, and it's crazy because I here on the after show, I said, you know, when he was out doing that with the girls, I thought maybe, you know, it was because his mom, you know, passed away and he was acting out, you know, but it's funny kind of watching the turnaround. And I mean, for you to have said there's no trust in that friendship. I don't like fake friends. For damn Gia, I don't know if y'all watch damn Planet, Captain Planet, Mother Earth, like that's who you are, girl. But I'm just saying, for you to say, I don't, y'all know who I'm talking about, right?
Peacemaker.
You remember Mother Earth from Captain Planet? Yes, girl, that's you. But anyways, so for you to say, I don't like fake friends, I don't want to trust you, it's kind of makes me feel like, I mean, there are people in this world who just, that's who they are, that's what they're going to be, and he probably in 10 years from now, he will still be in the Bronx emceeing someone's backyard barbecue talking about, I was on the Real World.
Yeah.
Trying to slang watches, like, you know.
Yeah.
And I mean,
Wow,
I know.
Wait. You really went in just
I did, and I
like, can we get a moment for that?
But I'm just saying, I'm not saying it to be mean. I'm saying it because that's sad to me.
And I hope it's not true. I really, honestly, inside me, hope it's not true. I mean, there's this sick thing that my sister and I made up because it makes us feel better. It's called DPC. We call it the Dead Parents Club. And I feel like I'm connected to all the people in my club. I know, it's sickening.
Yeah, that's
kind of weird. It's fucking weird. I know, but people are weird. Yeah. Whatever. I'm weird. I'm artsy. I'm bizarre. Anyway, and I feel like I look at him.
I like weird artsy people.
You're awesome. I know. That's why I like you too. But I feel like he's part of my team. And I'm like, you're DPC. And I feel for you. And I want to help you. And I want to like you. But you make it too damn hard.
Girls, sit him on the bench. Yeah. If he on your team, put him on the bench because he cannot play.
Don't represent my team like that. You're supposed to be better than that. You're supposed to have learned. You're supposed to have been through things, and you're supposed to be awesome. Right. And why are you such a piece of shit? I mean, I just don't get it.
All right, before we move to the next topic.
My only thing was just like, I'm the kind of person, like, I felt like I went into the house, and part of the reason why I'm actually even good friends with everybody now is because I went into the house, I was like, so, I'm black, I have big hair, I'm gay as fuck, love me, hate me, I don't care, this is me. And, like, I felt like the whole time, I would check myself. I was like, yo, am I putting out for the camera? Is this really Ari right now? Like, am I being myself? And I felt like I did everything I could to be genuine to every single person in that house, producers, housemates, exes, I didn't care. I was 100% Ari. And I felt like the friendships that I made, I assumed that they were doing the same thing. And I felt like the relationships I made with Jamie, with Tom, with Corey, with everybody else, it was 100%.
Well,
like, at least with me. I don't know about everybody else, but at least with me. Jay's the one person who was just like, yo, we're going to be best friends. Like, we're going to talk up at the house, blah, 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 blah. I didn't hear a thing. Like, not even a little bit. The only time the only time he even, like, hit me up was to talk about some, like, thing he was promoting. So it's just, like, that kind of thing just shows me, I just didn't feel like I got the person that I thought he was when he was living in the house.
Yeah.
So that's it for me.
Crazy.
We giving Jay too much life, so goodbye. Well, Ari, you said that you kept it 100 and you didn't want to put on for the camera, but we got an episode where Ashley felt like you may not have been doing that. All of a sudden, she feels like you're dressing like a boy. And I want to know. Yes, I want to know.
Why you got to bring up the past, though? Why you got to bring up the past,
I want to know whoever told you. Sorry. But my thing is, like, why did she feel that way?
That's a really, really good question. I actually was seeing online that a lot of people are like, yo, you guys been dating for like 3 years, 2 years. Like, why is this just not coming
Like,
out?
she didn't know you own beanies?
I mean, I think she knew. Here's the thing. I think I switch it up all the time. Like, my style is really important to me. Like, I love that I can switch. Like, a lot of girls, when they first come out, even me, when I first came out, I was dating a girl and I thought I had to be completely boyish. I didn't think I could ever own, like, a pair of heels or a skirt ever again. And I think, like, that's bullshit. Like, however I want to get dressed in the morning, that's how I want to get dressed.
Right.
Now, when I'm with Ashley, Ashley's bad. Like, Ashley is a very, very attractive girl. And
damn right she is.
I mean, hey.
Look,
both of you are.
I don't float in any of y'all's boat, but I will watch it. I will watch
oh my God,
boat.
you guys are both like up there, baby.
Right. We said you're the high fashion model. She's the commercial model.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Y'all can just be hot models.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all about. She's a beautiful girl. She's a very, very attractive girl, and it's fun for us to get dressed up together. So when I'm with her, it's more fun for me to, like, put my little girly, like, femme swag on, just because I just like the way it feels. Now, when I'm with my boys, I go out and I dress like I'm with my boys. So it's like she normally would not see that. And so when Ashley and I, we never really go out with friends. It's either, like, me and her or, like, going out separately. So when we went out with
why is that? Is that just how your relationship keeps it?
You only see each other on Sundays?
Nah, no. No, we go out all the time, but when it's me and her, we just like to do our thing, just me and her getting drunk and, like, going and, you know, giving tips to strippers and stuff. Like, that's how we get down together. But, like, when I go out with my friends, it's just, I don't know. I don't know. Do you guys not do that?
Well, no, I'm saying, is it like, does she get along with your friends? Is it just you guys respect each other's personal space? Like, you go out with your people, like, it's cool, I'm not tripping.
It's more that. It's more like we respect each other's space.
Okay.
Like, I think it's really good and healthy to like have our time, but also like have time apart to go and like hang out with friends and stuff.
Absolutely. But
unfortunately, I don't know what it is about like lesbians, but we like to be like right underneath each other all the time. Like, I've dated so many girls who always want to be with me 24/7, and it drives me crazy. Ashley's not that way.
Yeah, and I can tell that you guys are very giving and sharing, because I have to ask you guys about this kiss, or I have to ask you about this kiss. So I think that the funniest part about this all is how Tom freaked the fuck out about it. I mean, I'm having issues with Tom in general sometimes.
But why every guy in the house, other than Jay, every guy in the house is scared that their girl is going to go turn lesbian? Like, I don't understand this. Corey was scared of Jenny.
In all fairness, Jenny plays for a couple different teams.
That's
but
true.
I mean, I just think that it's
funny.
funny.
I can answer that. It's because I'm living in the house.
Yeah.
Probably that. Like, I mean, hey, like, the producers asked me, how do you know if a girl is straight? And I was like, well, or how do you know if a girl is gay? I'm like, if I'm attracted to her, then she's gay.
Ooh.
So there's that.
Okay.
So who in the house were you attracted to?
Yeah.
What was that?
Who in the house were you attracted to?
No, actually, I wasn't really attracted to anybody else in the house outside of Ashley. I thought Jenna was really, really cute, but like I couldn't really get with the whole like her being so like shy.
Yes, too timid
and,
for you.
And stuff.
I wouldn't want to watch that.
I need a bad sassy girl. I like sassy girls, so there's that.
But we didn't get to see that side. I mean, you guys didn't get that much camera time. Ashley got barely any camera time.
But that's a positive thing. I'm sorry. Just watching this show for years, I think you got the perfect amount of time, because it wasn't messy. When it was messy, it wasn't too much tea spilled.
Well, like she's saying, she can still get a job after the show, which 90% of the people can't say. But I just think that it would be cool to see some actual projects that are happening. I mean, I know you had your thing going on. Ashley had her thing. I think that that's why we brought the Exes back, so that we can see what everybody's doing and how everybody's working. So I don't know, that maybe that's just me because I'm an artist and I'm interested in seeing art that other people are making, but I think that would have been really cool to see. At least for, I mean, you got a little bit, the anniversary, you got a little bit of play, but that's about it.
And I'm actually surprised that they gave you, and I'm happy that they gave you the screen time for your movie. That's really cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
It is, and that's like honestly that one episode, like that was the one thing I needed. Like, I did the show not because I wanted to like be a trash reality star and all that stuff. I did the show for that one episode, so I got everything I needed out of it. And I'd say, you know what, I'm okay with the screen time I got, given I only would have got more screen time if it was like some trashy fight that me and Ashley were having, you know, and I don't really want I don't really want to be out there like that. So I'm okay with it, and I think in order to have the kind of show that you would want or that I would want, I just would need a different show. It needs to be like something that's more focused around work, not something around like relationships, which is what it was, or what it ended up becoming.
How did you feel about this whole OGs versus the Exes? Were you a part of this, like, yeah, we're team OG, or were you looking at them like, guys, calm the fuck down, like, we don't have varsity jackets, this isn't stop trying to make OGs work, it's not working.
Okay, so I'm not gonna lie, when it first happened, when I first walked into the house feeling all good after like a long, nice little vacation and stuff, when I first walked in and noticed that they moved all the Exes in, I was upset. And I was like, yo, I did this show for one reason, and that's to show people about the kind of work that I'm doing. Like, I'm never going to have any screen time now because it's all about relationships. So, like, that's why I was Team OGs, because I was like, yo, like, we're here to, like, show people like what real world is supposed to be, like young people trying to figure it out, you know, like that's what I thought the show was all about. So that's why I was all Team OG in the beginning. But over time, I just realized that it was just entertaining. Like, I was down to just sit there and watch Diddy and Brian like go and do whatever the heck they were doing, like coordinated dances with knives and stuff. Like, I thought it was entertaining after a while. And ratings showed that the show did better because of it. So, I mean, in retrospect, it's okay. Like, I'm okay with Exes and all that stuff. But when it first happened, I was definitely like, this is supposed to be our show about us finding our way as young people. And they just cracked and all of that.
Well, some of y'all found ways. I don't know if that was the right ways, but some of y'all found some ways. But I got to give a shout out to Corey. We had Corey on last week, and I love this part about Corey. But when him and Jenny were going back and forth, first of all, y'all really did not bring up that y'all were hooking up in LA. So, Corey, we're going to have an issue with that. Yeah. Secondly, I loved when Corey looked at Jenny, and Jenny was like, he said about her being shady on Twitter, and Jenny was like, I mean, I didn't realize. I mean, what I was saying on Twitter, you were offended? He said, yeah, you know what that's called? Shade.
Yeah.
Best line ever, Corey. I love you for that line.
Taken right from AfterBuzz.
AfterBuzz or whoever the hell you got that from. I love that whole situation.
Oh my God.
You better school them.
I was dying. It was so funny to sit up there. When they brought in Ashley, too, like the original Ashley, the whole piece was hilarious. And maybe I'm jumping ahead, but that shit was just funny.
Yeah, wait, let's talk about Corey and Jenny. I mean, Jenny and Corey and Brian. Let's talk about that hot mess for a second.
Right, because honestly, I tweeted about this. I really felt like you hosted this reunion the same way that you mediated all of these other arguments, because you ask questions that are like, oh, that's a smart, intellectual, important question to ask.
Step it up.
About these relationships. So I want to get your take on these relationships. And I mean, especially this one, the love triangle, or I guess love square as we call it tonight. What are you thinking? Do any of these couples have the chance of making it? How is Lauren and Corey and Brian and Jenny? What are we thinking about them?
And you're a director, so really give us your tea. So I know you was watching this like, oh, shit!
Oh, my God. Okay, so Lauren and Corey, they're a little easier because no matter what, they've been together, or whatever you call that. They've been doing their thing for like 8 years, So it's just like, no matter what, I feel like they're going to end up being something. I just feel like Corey, he just needs to have his shit and EveryGirl in LA before he can feel comfortable. Like, I think right now he's just living it up, the fact that, like, he's on a show and, like, he's kind of cute and girls are into it. So I just feel like they both need a little, like, them time.
Young but ready.
But, like, the harder thing is Corey and Brian. Actually, I really did think that, like, Corey and Brian had a thing for, like, 2 minutes. Not going to lie.
We've said it here.
Wait,
Ari, pause. Corey and Brian, do you feel like, because we had Corey in here last week, Corey specifically said, everyone keeps trying to figure out this deep-rooted issue that I have with Brian. I don't have a deep-rooted issue. I mean, you can't really have anger. And I don't know. I'm sorry. I apologize to everyone who wanted me to clock that T last week because I should have. But I was thinking about it back throughout the week. I was like, you can't be that angry at someone just because there has to be a reason why you don't like a person.
Yeah.
That's why I kept asking him, is it because of Jenny? Is this all because of Jenny? And he was like, no, it's just we don't get along. We don't get along. Some people you just don't like. And then I started thinking about it too, and I'm like, I don't really just not like anybody. Like, usually either something happens or there's something specific, but you don't really just not like somebody.
Or viciously want to beat someone up. Ari, what's your take?
Exactly. No, I mean, hey, I'm sitting here rubbing my chin thinking the same thing. Like, I just felt like Brian, like, okay, all the guys in the house got along, and I don't know if that was just, like, them pretending or they actually really liked each other that much or whatever. I just felt like Brian was like someone that Corey wanted to dominate in some way. I don't know why. He just wanted to show that he was the toughest guy in the house. And so I think it was just that. They're both like light-skinned dudes living in the house, and I think they just wanted to go at each other.
Do you think it was because Brian was older, or because Brian had Jenny first? Like,
I think it's because that.
You think that's what it was?
I do. I think it all stems from the fact that they all have had the same pussy. That pussy will manipulate your brain.
You mean the devil's gonna come down
it
and
won't
manipulate
my brain. I have my pussy protector on.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry.
This is too much.
My bad, girl.
I'm like getting hot and heavy.
The thing is, Corey was saying that like he was kind of over Jenny, so that's why I'm like, I don't know, because it's like by the time that Brian moved in, and maybe that's what it was. Like by the time Brian moved in, Jenny quickly switched Brian. So it's just like, I don't know if it had something to do with just how quick she was just like, yo, they were just hooking up. They were just hooking up in the boathouse. We get there, we get to San Francisco, and immediately she's trying to work things out with Brian. It may have had something to do with that.
But wasn't Lauren having sex with Corey already at that point?
Yes. Yes, definitely. They were in the shower the moment they walked in, too.
Yeah, so I just feel like it was like mutual, you know? Like we were here, we were having fun. Now we both have our real things going on, or at least what we think are real things.
It doesn't matter. It's a man thing. Some men have this thing where they feel like, oh, you know what? I smashed that, so haha, I had it. Now I'm going to prove to you why I'm bigger. You big too and light skin? Well, I mean, I may be shorter than you, but I'm still bigger. And
we should have opened up with I hit it first, for sure, because that's what they're all thinking right now. I hit it, I hit it, I hit it, I hit it.
Let me ask you this, Ari. With Jenny, though, do you feel like, because part of me wonders, did Jenny come into this show, you know, kind of putting on for the cameras a little bit? There's a part of me that wants to think Jenny is a little manipulator in a sense. I don't know why I get that vibe from her. I think it's because watching the edited versions of the clips, I see this, I don't know, I feel for Brian. When it comes to their relationship, I feel like Jenny dominates the relationship, and it's a little unfair. And I might be totally biased watching this, but what's your take on Jenny in front of the camera?
Oh yeah, so there's a lot to say here. I mean, I'd say first, like, I do think that, like, Jenny, in the Brian-Jenny relationship, Jenny definitely like she runs it. Like, she definitely runs the relationship. And like, in terms of manipulating Brian, I understand where that comes from. Like, I honestly, there were times when I thought the same thing. I do feel like everything you saw on camera, though, was Jenny. Like, Jenny is just that fucking weird. Like, she really is, like, that person. And, like, the things that she says, the things that she does, I think it really is just her. And I think it actually makes it a little scarier, because looking at this relationship, you're like, whoa, I can't believe that this is real. Like, these are real people who actually treat each other like that. I mean, I think everybody a little bit put on for the cameras, though. Like, I'm not going to lie. Like, I think every single person in that house, you're lying if you're saying that you, like, sitting in there, there's a camera on you, you didn't put on a little bit, because it's impossible not to.
Yeah.
Right. I started questioning Jenny the most, though, when she came into studio and told us how close she was with Ashley, like Crazy Ashley, who left. And I was like, wow, that seems kind of weird to me, that you could be that close with somebody who I think, I mean, I wasn't there, but seemingly is batshit crazy. And I'm batshit crazy, but like in a batshit crazy lovable way, I hope. She's batshit crazy in like a wouldn't touch her with a 10-foot pole kind of way.
In a I throw grease on people?
No, I don't really think she's my type of people. So I just thought that was a little weird.
Hey, y'all.
What do you think about that relationship? I mean, was that interesting at all?
One thing that didn't air is, like, by the time, once Ashley left, Jenny realized how, like, outcasted. Well, basically, Jenny was kind of outcasted, especially once Brian came. Jenny, like, there was, like, the OGs, there was, like, me, Corey, Tom, Jay, kind of Jay. But it was really kind of like us, and then there was Jenny. And, like, I think that's part of the reason why she really, really missed Ashley and even brought her back into the house, which I wasn't about. But she did that because she really didn't have anyone by that point. Like, it went from her and Ashley being able to go out and do the crazy things that, you know, white girls do when they go out and get bottle service. And she couldn't do that anymore.
Can you talk about Ashley a little bit, though? Like, was Ashley really... Will you talk about Ashley a little bit, though? Like, was Ashley really that insane? Or was... Because you were talking about people who play up for the camera. Was this an act for the camera? Or is this Ashley also?
I have no idea what happened, but the moment that girl walked into the house, she was crazy. She was, like, really, really insane. Like, I literally was, like, calling a friend. I was like, yo, you know how you watch reality shows and you can't believe that, like, it really is, that's how it goes down? Yeah, I'm living it right now. 48 hours, and it's actually, like, a ridiculous reality show. And it was all coming from Ashley, like, from, like, getting nasty drunk and grinding on everybody to smelling like vomit and having eyelashes fall off. Like,
sexy.
All that stuff happened within 24 hours. So, like, yeah, that was that was her. And I think, to be honest, like looking back on it, I think she was just hella nervous maybe. And she came into the house and she wanted to be liked and she wanted to turn up. And so she basically drank herself to the point where like she couldn't really control her actions and then went crazy.
Damn. I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
Well, good luck to you, Ashley.
I felt sorry for her.
Yeah.
Like, there were so many times when I was like, you know, you don't have to do this. You know, like you could just chill. Like just chill. And it's fine. But I don't know. I just hope she's cool now, and I think she's like deleting all of her social stuff because people were getting really, really nasty to her online, especially after she ripped up Jay's numbers and stuff.
Yeah, and now she's living in Paris, and I guess maybe she's trying to figure herself out. But I have a quick question about something that wasn't addressed on the reunion, and I'm just wondering because it's so different. Not that you were on any other season, so you don't really have anything to compare it to, but this season we see the producers a lot more. You know, we're seeing the camera people, we're seeing the people asking you questions, we're seeing people talk to production, which I thought was fucking cool. How was that like to interact with them? Usually I know you get fined if you interact with camera people, but it seems like really they embraced it this season. Were these your buddies, or do you keep in touch with them? What was that like?
Oh my God. And so like, of course, we didn't know how everything was going to be edited by the end of it. But as a filmmaker, as like a lover of just like, you know, content in general, I am absolutely in love with it. I think it's amazing. I think it makes it 100% more real because you actually get to see like our lives. Like that's really how it was. Like on the shit show, it was me like battling one of the sound guys with like I don't know, like I had like some kind of like thing, and we were just play fighting. Like I got really, really close with all the producers because there were times where I couldn't talk to the roommates because all they wanted to do was talk about their problems. And so I would just talk to some of the, like, you know, the camera people. And so we got really, really close, and they were part of our lives. And they knew me and Ashley's relationship very well because me and Ashley were not afraid of, you know, doing our thing on camera. So that was the only time when it was, like, a little embarrassing because, like, I would turn around and there's a camera guy that I'm really close with kind of documenting me as I do my thing. But outside of that, it was cool. It was definitely, I really, really love that. And I think it makes it a lot more real. And hopefully more reality shows do this.
Yeah, I've noticed that it's Bune and Murray because I do Bad Girls Club, and I've noticed that they've started doing that on Bad Girls Club too. So maybe it's a new theme. But we got to keep it moving because we have to wrap up soon. But I want to get through these two topics right here.
Go for it.
This one's really quickly. The reunion kind of got a lot of, I would say, negative remarks in the sense of it was kind of watered down. And a lot of people are saying that they feel like MTV overkilled it with the after shows. And that way, when you guys did by the time the reunion came, it was kind of like, well, we've already talked about this. Well, what else are we going to ham up for the cameras one more? Do you kind of feel like, was that tiring for you guys to have to keep rehashing it for the after shows? You know, because it wasn't like the after show just had you on and then we get to hear your perspective. It was like a reunion almost every episode.
Right.
Yeah. No, I actually agree with that because so coming into the reunion, I part of the reason why I was the host of the reunion, like the accidental alternative host for the reunion, is because everybody was so over it by that point. I think even Jamie said at one point to Ashley, she's like, I don't even know what else there is to say. Like, I've already told you how I feel about you.
Yeah.
And like, there was also a point where Corey, like, actually said, I'm just over this by this point. So I think by the time we got to the reunion, we were all kind of just done talking about the same shit over and over again.
Right.
And I think that partly is because of the after shows, and also just because, like, you know, we're all on Twitter, we're all talking about our shit, and we're all still trying to, like, you know, do our lives and live our lives. And, like, I think things changed a lot by the time we got to the reunion. Like, you know, Jamie and Tom went back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And so by the time they got to the reunion, they were just kind of, like, tired of talking about their relationship. So we didn't even get into any of that.
It must be hard on their relationship, too, because, like, even you jokingly said, we asked you a question, you said, oh, why do you have to bring up the past? But it's like when I fight, not that I've dated somebody for years because I'm single, loving it, but when I did used to date people, I used to date people, and I would get in an argument and I didn't ever want to bring it up ever again. You know, you get in an argument, you figure it out, you move on. But you guys, you guys get, no, but it's not, people aren't looking at the same argument over and over and over again and rehashing it. And that must be really strenuous on a relationship, especially Jamie and Tom we just brought up. I mean, they're sitting there and
talking about Haley. It's like, well, this bitch get out our damn relationship
I
now.
know, exactly. That must be really tough, like reliving this over and over. So I can only imagine.
Well, tell us about
it's annoying.
Jamie and Tom.
Like, I've talked about me and Ashley and our like my clothing so many different times in so many different ways. Like I have my talking points ready to go. You know, like I feel like I'm campaigning for this. You know, so it's just like it definitely. I think it did get watered down, and I think it's just. Unfortunately, I think MTV or whoever really wants to just continue to get people talking about the same shit.
Yeah.
And like at the end of the day, we were there for 3 months, and in those 3 months, like we kind of ended up doing the same shit and talking about the same shit and hanging out with the same people, and it was the same shit, the same story.
It's so funny because if anybody had asked you right before you filmed, do you feel like in a few months, what will you be talking about? Would you have ever thought what I was wearing? my apparel is what everybody's going to ask me about. So it's ridiculous.
Well, I was hoping that people would be like, oh, Ari's so fly. Like, where do you get that? Like,
we did.
But, like, no, not like, oh, you're a girl one day and you're a boy the next. Like, no, not at all.
Okay, but in all fairness, like anybody who's a super fan of the show, like we are, loves you. Yeah. Like I have not seen one bad thing.
MVP.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you're a fucking trooper.
All right, Thomas and Jamie. I love that Jamie and Haley squashed it. It's done. Haley looked like she was over it to be there. And Lauren, I wish Lauren didn't come to the reunion because I feel like you had a serious situation happen to you on national television. I'm glad she chose to leave the show. And whatever happened with the situation happened. Clearly, she doesn't want to talk about it. No shade on you, girl, but if you don't want to talk about it, I don't want you to be there. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you left it. No, I know it sounds bad, but it's just like, why? What are we here for? Like, you're not going to tell me about it. That's why you're on this show. Like, the Corey and her relationship thing was like, I'd rather hear about Jenny and Corey.
I like people who take a stance.
Is that just shady?
No, not at all.
Honestly,
yeah, go ahead.
Honestly, I kind of agree with that. And like me, being Mama Ari, I pulled her aside before the reunion. I was like, you know what? You do have an opportunity. Like, let's really talk about it. Like, if you're gonna come out there, you're clearly not pregnant. Like, there are a lot of girls. Like, there are so many girls in the world that have to go through the same thing. Like, just be that champion for them and give yourself an opportunity moving forward. Like, I talked to so many of the other roommates. I was like, yo, what do you want to do after this? Like, use this as a platform. That was a platform that unfortunately was handed to Lauren.
Yeah.
And I feel like she had, it was right in her lap. And I think just because of either nerves or just discomfort with the whole situation, she decided that she just didn't want to talk about it.
I think
if I was here, I'd be like, you know what? I did it. So what? Here's, I went through these things. It was tough. Find my blog. Like I talk about it here. Like, let's make some money off of it, right? Like, let's
absolutely.
Off of it.
But that's why she's clearly not as confident as a human being as you are. And I almost feel bad for her because here's the thing. There are only two ways to lose a baby.
Right.
You either had a miscarriage or you had an abortion. By the way that everybody's talking about this, she had an abortion. I mean, there's a 1% chance that I'm wrong, but that's what I'm thinking. And here's the thing. If you are pro-choice, and right now, and it's so important that if you believe in something, that you speak out about it, and you have this platform, and you are on TV, and if you believe in a woman's right to choose, and you are going to act upon that, you didn't use a condom, you got pregnant, and now you don't know what to do because you cannot provide this child with a life that you think is good or appropriate or whatever it is, so you get an abortion. And there are so many people out there who are going through that and are looking for somebody, a role model, to be like, it's okay, this is okay.
She's not that person.
But she's not that person.
You can clearly see that, and she had two choices, and I don't know what she struggled with, and I empathize with that part of it, which is why I go on to say, you shouldn't have been on the reunion.
Right.
Moving on.
And I mean, just to even add to that though, I think even if, and I probably should have had a longer talk with Lauren about this, even if she doesn't know the right things to say, I mean, go back to episode 7. I didn't know what the heck to talk about when it came to trans issues.
Right.
I knew nothing about that. But I knew that, like, the one thing I could offer is the fact that I didn't know anything and that I was vulnerable and that I was, like, just opening myself up to learning about things.
Yeah.
So for her to even say, like, hey, yes, I had an abortion. I don't know what the right way to, how to explain that. I don't know the right ways to do this, but I'm willing to take this journey and, like, learn for you guys. That would have been an even better situation because then she's even approachable, Like,
Right.
then people can actually say, like, yo, I don't know what to do. I'm scared. I'm nervous. I accidentally got pregnant, but Lauren also had that same experience, and look at where she is now, you know?
Do you look at that?
I totally agree with that.
Do you feel like that's just, maybe she's just a small town girl and, she was on The Real World. She's like, oh, shit, I really got pregnant by someone else. This is really on camera. I need to get the fuck out of here. I don't want no one to ever know this happened to me. And that's, again, why I say, girl, because I trust me, if I had gotten pregnant on the damn reality show, I would have been right the fuck out of there, hiding in a damn panic room for years so no one remembered my face. And then I came out. And if that's the case, then why'd you come on the damn reunion? But we got to move on. Moving on to Thomas, Jamie, Haley, Cameron. Because I felt like Jamie alluded to the fact that she had a conversation with Cameron and told him not to come on the show. Is that true or not?
Great question. She kind of mentioned it, but I really don't know. Like, I think there may have been an email that was sent about, like, not, because she's always lived in his fame shadow because he's really famous and it's her time and that kind of thing. I think that there may have been an email, but outside of that, I don't know. I do know that the producers really, really wanted us to meet up with him. Like, they were like, yo, he's playing in Sacramento. We'll drive you guys out there. Let's do the damn thing. And Jamie was not happy. She was flipping out. And I was like, Jamie, why are you so nervous about seeing this guy again? Like, everybody was, like, a little confused as to why she was, like,
yeah.
was a groupie.
I mean, if you're not over somebody, if you're over somebody, then you don't really care. So there's obviously something there that she's not over. But the weirder part to me was when he mentioned that it had something to do with alcohol. Because, I mean, Jamie wasn't my personal favorite this season, but it didn't seem to me like she had a drinking problem. What was he talking about?
Well, we really didn't see her drink too much.
Right. That's why. Do you know what he was talking about? He was like, and when alcohol comes out, we have problems.
Oh. Wait a minute. Okay, so, yes, they definitely drank a lot. So and every single time, they only aired like 2% of the fights that Jamie and Tom had. Mm-hmm. They fought every single night, and it was all about liquor, and it all came out when they got drunk. So, I mean, alcohol is a problem. I still, they still kind of were going through that shit. But when it comes to her issues with Cameron, I just feel like it was more the cheating stuff. Like, I think that's really what kind of, like, got under her skin. Even though she cheated with me and Ashley and Tom. I'm not going to bring that up. But, yeah, I think that was more the issue with her and her past relationship.
All right, and before we wrap up, do you see, obviously, Thomas and Jamie are still together. A lot of the times on the real world, we see the couples happen and they go for a little bit and then it kind of fizzles out because, when you're attached to someone like that, it's hard to let go of those feelings. Is this a relationship that you see lasting?
Ooh, why is that such a hard question to answer?
On that note.
Because I love them so much. Right. And I love them separately so much.
They know.
And,
but,
shit.
So you root for them, but you're not sure.
They're going to, yeah. Okay, here's the thing. If I was invited to Tom and Jamie's wedding, I would be the happiest bitch alive. I'm telling you that right now. Do I see it happening? I don't know. It's like, I don't know. Like, I think they still have a lot to work out, and I think whether they like it or not, the cameras and the lights and the fans and everybody's watching every single move they make, and I think that makes it hard for them to really, like, talk about the hard shit. I feel like they have to be with each other because they got together on the show, and if they break up, fans are going to be upset, and TV is going to be upset, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
So I think there's just a lot of pressure, but, like, Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
You don't gotta say no more. You done read my mind, so I don't gotta say anything either. On that note, Ari, I want to thank you for calling in. Before we let you go, though, let us know about what projects you have going on.
And where can
your fans
you.
find you? What projects do you got going on? I know you got a website. What are we gonna find on your website? Which, by the way, I'm gonna be really honest with you, Ari. We're gonna have a deep moment right here. Your website is very difficult to navigate. I had some issues.
I know. Actually, I actually just have a new team that's going to work with me on it. So thank you.
Because I was going to say, I know a guy.
I need that little bit of shade in order for me to do better. So I will do better.
But that's not shade, because I really I was trying.
You want to see your
I
work.
was a fan. I wanted to. I was on there. I loved all the pictures I seen. I will say that. So tell us about upcoming project and your website.
Okay. So the best thing is I shot a film while I was living in the Real World house, and that film is actually going live tomorrow. I don't know if you guys are airing the show, but the film goes live on April 9th. It's called Open Call, and it's creepy, and I like horror films, and so does Roxy, so there's that. So it's Open Call. Make sure to check that out. And the best way, how about I do it like this? The best way for you to find everything that I'm doing is to follow me on Twitter. And my Twitter handle is it's Arielle Fitz, ITS, ARIFITZ, if I really have to do that. And outside of that, there are a lot of film projects and a lot of just like different series that I'm building on YouTube. And the best way to find me there is, again, it's Arielle Fitz on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Ari, thank you for calling in. We hope when you're out here in LA, you're going to come hang out with us and play with us in studio.
Yes. You already know it. You already know. I'm ready for the turn up.
Right.
Love it.
The turn up is real. Well, thank you for calling in. I want to give a shout out to everybody at home. Thank you guys for calling in, tweeting us, retweeting us, helping, supporting this show. We love you guys. We've been doing The Real World for too damn long now.
Not too long. We'll never stop. The iTunes, the YouTube, you guys are amazing. And then, of course, the challenge. Do you think we'll see you on a challenge at some point? Is that something that's up your alley?
You know what? I'm too busy making horror films.
Oh, hell yeah,
I got too much going on.
Yeah. Bye.
But you'll definitely see some of my castmates. So watch that.
There we go. All right, guys, make sure you guys hit us up at AfterBuzz TV on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Tweet me at DJ Jesse J.
You can find me at Roxy Striar.
And also hit up, it's Arielle Fitz. Peace.
See you guys.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.